Ladies and gentlemen, they have just announced what we've been asking for the better part of a year. The WWE has announced the WWE Women's United States Championship. Fellas, we did it. We prayed for it and we got it. The women's mid-card title is here. And right now, at least as of the making of this video, we don't know if this is a floater championship that goes across all of the brands or if this is exclusive to Friday Night SmackDown and Raw will have a women's intercontinental championship. We don't know that yet. But in today's video, I want to talk about who should be the inaugural WWE United States Women's Champion. I'm going to give you 10 options. I'm going to explain to you why they make sense, and maybe I'll play devil's advocate and tell you maybe why they don't make sense also. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I am confident that you're going to fall in love with his YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. And this is the third video in a row that I've recorded, which is why my voice is starting to disappear and why I'm wearing the same thing. I'm still traveling, but this should be the last video of the bulk videos that I'm recording. But all right, that's enough. Let's jump into the video. All right, let's start things off by talking about probably the most obvious option on this list because it's the most popular option and the one that people are clamoring to be your inaugural United States Women's Champion, that being Chelsea Green. And for good reason. Chelsea Green is truly fantastic and she has been fantastic on WWE programming basically for the entirety of 2024. And don't forget just how much backing she had going into something like Money in the Bank. People desperately want to see Chelsea Green win something of note in the WWE. She is fantastic in the ring when given the ability to be able to do so, but more than anything, she has absolutely crushed it in 2024 by being one of the most recognizable characters in the women's division. And if you want to signify to the world what the women's mid-card is all about, giving it to somebody like Chelsea Green, who's been doing some of the best work of her career in the WWE thus far, I think that's a great seal of approval. And if I'm somebody on the up and up, then I want to emulate the rise that Chelsea Green has had in 2024. And frankly, and this might piss off some people, with the way that Chelsea Green is booked, the type of character that she is, it's tough to see her as a women's world champion, but I have no difficulties seeing her as a women's mid-card champion. There are plenty of names of people that I think deserve it, but I feel like out of all of the names on this list, she is the one that deserves it the most based on the quality of work that she's put in this year alone. Plus, come on, Triple H, give the people what they want. They want to see Chelsea Green win something big, and this is a perfect opportunity to be able to do so. Give us what we want. Next, I have one of my favorite picks here, which is Michin, because similar to Chelsea Green, she's had a fantastic 2024, and when I make my end of the year awards videos, she's going to be in contention for Breakout Superstar of the Year. I cannot name you a bad Michin match between all of the great matches she's had on NXT this year and all the great matches that she's had on Friday Night SmackDown. Frankly, the only bad thing about Michin is the fact that she just doesn't have a good wrestling entrance theme. It's not an entrance theme that's instantly recognizable or instantly makes you want to get up and cheer. But that's really not the point. The point is that she's been absolutely tremendous in 2024 and has absolutely upped her game when it comes to the in-ring matches that she delivers time after time after time. So you have an opportunity to send a message as to what kind of champion you want being your inaugural United States champion. Do you want a workhorse champion? Because if you want the workhorse champion, then right now I don't think that it gets better than Michin. I think that she would be a fantastic workhorse fighting champion, having amazing match after amazing match, time after time, similarly to the formula that they followed in NXT with Kalani Jordan, a fighting champion that just kept having great matches until she eventually lost. But because of Kalani Jordan being a great inaugural champion, it helped increase the importance of the championship because it was the work woman's title. And I feel like Michin could do this. So I love this option. If not Chelsea Green, to me, this is clear and obvious option number 2. Perhaps a less popular option, but an option that I like nonetheless, is Naomi, who is a former world champion in her own right and a former world champion outside of the WWE as well. And the fact that she came back to the WWE could send a good sign to the rest of people that might be considering returning to the WWE or signing with the WWE at all, seeing somebody that came from TNA being given a major accolade like being the inaugural women's United States champion could send a really strong message. You also have somebody, as I've already mentioned, that's a former world champion, so you don't really need to give her this title to legitimize her. If anything, she would be helping bring legitimacy to the title because, as I said, she's already won bigger things than the women's US title. You can actually use that as an argument against her where, hey, I feel like it'd be pretty cool to give this to somebody who's winning their first title ever. I think one of the difficulties here is that she seems to be pretty ingrained in the women's championship division, already having a scheduled match with Nia Jax. So it would seem almost like she's downgrading herself if she were to go from losing the WWE Women's Championship match to the Women's United States Championship. And we don't want that to happen. We don't want this to feel like the loser's bracket title simply because you lost the Women's Championship match. Oh, this is awesome, dude. Oh, wow. Unreal. Wow. Oh! That, folks, was a sneak peek of this week's Wrestling is Cool Match Club, available exclusively over on patreon.com/SantiZap. This week, we're looking at the Cruiserweight Classic fantastic match between Kota Ibushi and Cedric Alexander. We have the crowning of Jeff Hardy in a triple threat match between Jeff Hardy, Edge, and Triple H at Armageddon 2008 for the WWE Championship. We have a match from overseas in Japan between Julia and Sari at Marigold Summer of Destiny 2024. And another triple threat match for the WWE Championship, this time between DX members Triple H and Shawn Michaels taking on John Cena. You're getting all of these watch-alongs plus all of the over 100 watch-alongs that are already up and available on the Patreon, plus the Raw reviews, plus the SmackDown reviews, plus the Wrestling is Cool podcast 3 days early, plus the Undertaker Streak watch-along that we're starting now, as well as the Royal Rumble watch-along that we're already into the 2000s with. All of that and more available on patreon.com/SantiZap. I'm confident that if you even give it 1 month that you're going to fall in love with it because we just upload so much great content over there, more than we upload here on YouTube, and content that just simply can never appear on YouTube. So go check it out. Try it for a month. That's it. Link in the description, link in the pinned comment. Let's get back to the video. I'm going to go out of left field, but what if we look at somebody that the WWE is obviously going to sign in Jordynne Grace when her TNA contract is up in early January? We don't know when. I said January. We actually don't know that it's early January. We just know that it's early 2025. But she's already appeared on a huge show like the Royal Rumble, and she's already been part of marquee matches and storylines in NXT in the partnership between NXT and TNA. So we'll see. I don't know how they're going to be awarding this women's mid-card title or when they're going to be awarding it. Maybe this is something that takes several months to award. If that is the case, then I think WWE should strongly consider Jordynne Grace. This would also be a hell of a debut. Somebody debuting as a full-time WWE superstar winning championship gold right off the bat is huge. And also something that they've been doing recently, as they just did it with the Motor City Machine Guns. Plus, when it comes to just like having a badass champion as your first champion, I don't think that it gets more badass in a potential WWE signee than Jordynne Grace. I really like this option, but again, it all really depends on the timing of her contract ending in TNA and how they're going to award this championship and when. I don't know timelines as of yet. Don't sleep on this one. What about a returning Alexa Bliss being your inaugural United States champion? It's possible that the United States Championship will have a counterpart on Raw with the Women's Intercontinental Championship. As of the making of this video, we don't know if that's a reality. But Alexa Bliss is one of those individuals that technically she's not tied down right now by the brand split. She could come back from her maternity leave and just be part of the SmackDown roster. I know that one of the big deterrents in that is that a lot of people foresee her having a tale being told alongside the Wyatt Six, but we don't know if that's a for sure thing or not. But similar to Naomi, this is somebody that brings legitimacy immediately to this title because we have somebody that's been a dominant women's world champion in her own right before. And it would be an awesome, really strong way to reintroduce the character of Alexa Bliss to the world of the WWE, somebody that's been gone for a really long time at this point. I like this option. Don't sleep on it, but I can see if you don't necessarily love it. I like Jade Cargill here. I really like this option because she, in her own right, was an incredibly dominant women's mid-card champion over in AEW. So she has experience elevating a mid-card championship to incredible heights already. And maybe this could be an interesting way of demonstrating that she wants to step away from Bianca Belair. Maybe the WrestleMania match ends up being between Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, not just out of hatred, but maybe it is for this United States Women's Championship. I like the experience that Jade Cargill brings here. It also allows the WWE to put something shiny on Jade Cargill again that isn't Women's Tag Team Championship gold. It allows her to, again, be shown to the world as this marquee single signee that the WWE sees long-term potential in, and it could be the catalyst for the WrestleMania feud between her and Bianca Belair. I think that there's some really neat options here. Zelena Vega, basically because she's done everything in the WWE to warrant just being given something, okay? I know she won Queen of the Ring, but that seems like an afterthought at this point. Zelena Vega is too damn good, and I just feel like she doesn't get the recognition for how good she is. She can be the entire package. She can be great in the ring, but she can be a hell of a mouthpiece on the mic. She is phenomenal on the stick. Again, I don't know the nuances of this championship. Is it going to be a floating championship? Are there going to be two championships? Is there a brand split that prevents people like Zelena Vega being able to go after it? I don't know. But let's say in a perfect world, somebody like Zelena Vega could compete to be the first ever United States champion, then you should really strongly consider it because I feel like she would make a great first champion. Lyra Valkyria is also an interesting option here. If you want to crown somebody that could be a future world champion without giving her world championship status just yet, then you could use the women's mid-card championship as a stepping stone, which is what you've historically used men's mid-card titles for. And somebody like Lyra Valkyria could absolutely benefit from a stepping stone to go into the women's world championship picture. We know that she's great in the ring. She's got experience holding championship gold, being a great women's NXT champion. And again, if you see long-term potential in Lyra Valkyria being one of your cornerstones of the women's division, then let her use this as a stepping stone to win bigger things. It would also set the pace that, winning the women's mid-card is the way to bigger and greater things like women's world championship gold. EOS Sky, because she's amazing and you can do no wrong with giving EOS Sky gold, clearly. I think that she's the best women's professional wrestler on the main roster. I firmly believe that. There's just so much good about EOS Sky that I wouldn't even know where to begin. Sure, the weakest part of her game right now would be her mic skills, but I feel like her in-ring prowess all but completely makes up for it. And as I've said it before, former women's champion, a recent women's world champion at that, so she would instantly add legitimacy and help make this championship prestigious. But we've mentioned being a working champion. EOS Sky could absolutely be the working champion because she already kind of is a workhorse for the women's roster as is. So just slap a title on her and now all of a sudden the great work that she does every single week helps elevate the importance of the title by making it the workhorse title. I know right now she's embroiled in a feud for the women's world championship against Liv Morgan, but again, we don't know how this championship is going to be awarded yet, so I don't want to leave off people like EOS Sky simply because she's on Raw or because she's going after other things. But again, the case can be made that losing the WWE Women's World Championship match and then going down and settling for the US title wouldn't necessarily be a great look either. You thought that this video wouldn't have Charlotte. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think it's a coincidence that Charlotte's about to come back from her injury and that they're about to debut a brand new championship. What have I said on this channel time and time again? There are three things certain in this planet: death, taxes, and Charlotte Flair winning championship gold whenever she comes back from injury. It happens time after time after time, and maybe I've just been thinking about this all wrong. Maybe she doesn't come back to win Women's World Championship gold. Maybe she comes back to win the Women's Mid-Card Championship. And hell, she's already the most decorated Women's World Champion of all time. It wouldn't be crazy to add this extra accolade to her already extensive resume. And not to compare her to John Cena, but John Cena was one of the most decorated world champions of all time. He won the United States Championship, United States Championship Open Challenge, and he really elevated that championship to heights that frankly it has never reached ever again. Maybe they do something similar to Charlotte. Look, I know that Charlotte has a lot of detractors, she has a lot of haters, but I'm telling you, this isn't a terrible option. It's a new title, so creating prestige right off the bat to me is a really important thing. Look at, for example, the World Heavyweight title. They immediately plastered that thing on somebody like Seth Rollins that instantly elevated the championship simply because his name was Seth Rollins and his previous body of work, and then he was a great champion in his own right. Maybe that could be a strategy that they use for the United States Championship for the women and give it to a super recognizable name like a Charlotte. Don't groan. I think that this is in play. I'm sorry. All right, folks, thank you so much for watching this video. This should be the last video of me traveling. We'll see, but that's it. I'm done. Get out of here.